want no scrub. Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging up the passenger side of his best friend's ride, ain't trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Bring it to the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. Since y'all want to kick me off the podcast, I'm back.
You know what's the wild part? Nobody made any negative comments. Nobody threw no shade at women in that whole episode. And it was the first thing you do: come with hostility, come with making jokes, come in here being rude and stuff like that.
Because you know that he cannot approach me, and he's looking like that, and he's looking like that. Big could have been Venus. So, no, I don't want your number, no. I don't want to give you my name, no. I don't want to meet you nowhere, no. I don't want none of your time. I don't want no scrubs. I'm sorry, what was that you were saying?
And honestly,
oh yes, sir, I'm talking to you. If you live at home with your mama, oh yes, sir, I'm talking to you. What else you wanted to say?
I'm cool.
Okay, since y'all wanted to kick me off last time.
Go ahead with your women's empowerment.
Can you tell I'm mad excited to be back?
I mean, the quality of the podcast just went down now that you're back, but hey.
I'm sorry, you said up wrong. You meant soared now that I'm back. Now that the voice that they actually come to listen for is here.
People literally texted saying, wow, like this episode was so like, there's so much for me. Like, thank you so much. That ain't never happened with your episode.
Yeah, because like getting 3 like somewhat coherent men to have a conversation that doesn't involve like hitting them sports and manipulating women is like really hard to come by.
And yet, when it happens, box office.
Box office. I don't want no scrubs. No. Ooh, Chile. And we're back.
Again.
Again. And again. And again. Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Nia.Biaa.
It's your boy, Mikey Barxxx.
Barxxx. Is that what you just said? And we are the Wine Night Podcast. We are the head winers in charge. And we focus on any and everything black, down to your head, to your toes, your elbows.
Ashy ass ankles.
Listen, don't forget those feet.
Honestly, there's no point in putting on lotion anymore. Honestly.
Wait, what? Why, Michael? Please explain to the people why.
There's no point in moisturizing, honestly. Who I'm moisturizing for?
I mean, for the sake of everybody, no one wants to see you walk down the street looking like
who's gonna see me?
Flower.
Who's gonna see me?
You're right, but when everything opens up again,
I'll start lotioning again.
Okay, I would hope. Shea butter is a good.
That bottle of Aveeno is running low, and I'm unbothered.
Who gonna see me? Y'all did scratching your leg, OD, putting a hole through it because you don't. You
today I was like, why my arms so itchy? I said, oh.
It's dry. It's dry.
Remember the episode when SpongeBob when he was running out of water?
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. Well, how are you, sir? I haven't gotten to talk to you, at least here in 2 weeks now?
It's been splendid. I'm
sorry. Did you say miserable? I know you cannot live without me. I know that you struggle every single day, that you are not able to come in here with me and just be the best you can be. Okay, Lil Wayne. They can't see you, but you lighting that lighter. Okay, Lil Wayne.
But it's been really cool. The other day I was thinking about something, and I was thinking I'm gonna talk about this next time we get on the show. Like this time, by myself and isolating and stuff like that, really makes me have a new affinity for life and excited for life and stuff like that. Cause now that I have time for myself, I really get to enjoy the things I care about. You know what I mean? So I've been getting back into watching sneaker stuff. I'm watching anime, reading, looking up car stuff. I'm excited for all this new knowledge and stuff I'm getting to learn about. Because like you said to me the other day, I'm a learner by nature, right? So I'm actually getting to learn things now for fun, and so I just enjoy having this time to myself. It's kind of damn, this is what life is supposed to be like when you're not working ridiculous amounts of hours and things like that.
Oh man, I don't know what that means, sir.
Yeah, I ain't going back.
I think your job quite literally requires you to go back.
Oh no, I'm going back to work, but I ain't going back to work in particular. I was
Like,
just
I mean, the
I
new
got a
norm. It's
taste
a
of
new
life.
normal now. So like, I don't think anybody's going. Hopefully, nobody's going back to exactly the way it was.
I got a taste of freedom. I ain't going back, bro. I ain't going back. But how you though? How are you? How you
Listen,
living?
5 o'clock is 5 o'clock for me.
4:30. Shit.
4.
3:59. I
I was
start
about to
winding
say
down.
you rolling.
3:59. I
I'm
start
about to
winding
start
down.
forward on my phone.
3:59. I'd be like, Especially
No,
when it's
for real.
wintertime and the sun start going down around 4 o'clock and shit. I mean,
Ooh,
it's
no,
over.
thank you.
It's over.
I'm gonna pick up my bag, walk right down.
Walk
Excuse
past
me.
all them residents with shades on. I ain't talking to nobody.
I'm not talking to nobody. You right.
How you though? What's up with you?
You know, I am trying to figure out how to not feel so anxious because I'm not doing things. I think
Mm-hmm.
that that is something that is like hella underrated. And I've seen some people talking about it, but not a lot of people are talking about how, especially for like black people, I feel like when we are not busy, we feel like we're lazy or we feel like we're not accomplishing. Like if we're not president by 25, like of the United States, like we feel like we have failed. And so like new normal means like I leave work and everything is closed, so it's not like I can go anywhere or do something. It's not like there's a program to be at or people to see or things to do. So like learning how to bask in like just chilling the fuck out,
Mm-hmm.
like I think is really valuable.
Yeah, like I had to find like a happy middle, cause for me,
Mm-hmm.
like what
No, I was saying like I was agreeing for
I
once. You
had to
didn't
find a
even know what
happy.
that shit sounded like. You was like, "What's wrong with you? Yeah, right?"
So I had like a happy middle because it's like I'm on one hand I'm a very like I love to be busy. I like to have accomplishing things and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
on the other hand, like I do like the time to myself to just chill. You know, play with my dog. You know, play Switch, play Xbox.
Our dog.
Okay. I've been playing Spider-Man again, which is dope. Um, but even as I'm saying that, you know what I realized?
Hmm.
I don't really have a problem being busy. I have a problem being busy for other people. That's what it
Talk
really boils.
about it.
That's what it
This is
really.
how you do it. Do, do,
This is
do,
what it really
do,
boils
do.
down to. This shit might end up just being the clip just cause I'm about to go on some shit right now. I don't
Oh.
like. I understand Dame Dash so much more now. Like I don't like being busy for other people. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind being busy for like the frat. It's not really me. It's somebody else. And they need me to go, but I believe in it. You know what I mean? It's
Mm.
frustrating when you're busy for something you don't believe in. You're not wholeheartedly like, in tune with things like that. And like, unfortunately, a lot of us at this point in our life, we don't have the luxury of doing something we love. We're doing something to, stack this bread. Set ourselves up for something in the future. So it's like you kind of have to find that drive within you to like, I'm gonna get back up to it tomorrow morning. I'm gonna truck again. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And I don't really like what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it. Right. So I I'm realizing like that my issue is not that I don't like being busy. I love being busy. I love the drive. I love now that I'm like I have a full like my day consists of working out, once or twice a day. I mean, reading and like all these walking my dog, like all these different things. But it's stuff that I care about. The low light of my
Mm.
day is the 30 minutes or an hour that I have to do for like work or some shit like that I don't
You
really.
mean the 7 hours that they billing you for? I got you, King. Don't worry about it.
You right. So it's like when I got to do those things, it's just like, oh my goodness, like I gotta deal with
Mm.
this shit, right? And like I said, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like I'm not, what I mean, mixing cement. I'm not, what I mean, cleaning
Shit, you
bathroom.
never know. There's some people out here who really fuck with mixing cement. Have you ever seen that shit? It's kind of
I used to
cool.
mix cement.
Not like by hand though. I mean,
Oh,
like
you mean like
with the
the
machine, so I can watch it in the machine. I'm not about that life.
I used to always wonder what that was. Now, when I found out what it was, I was like, I wonder what happened if someone got stuck in there.
They would actually die.
Oh yeah, I'm positive. So I was just thought like, man, that would suck. That'd be a shitty way to
Yeah.
go. But
It would, cause like, I mean, some things you could fight your way out of. That's
that ain't
not.
that ain't it.
That ain't it. That ain't the thing you can fight your way out of. It really ain't. So I'ma
That ain't it.
just mind my business.
Well, on a
But
less
yeah, I
morbid
think
note.
right. Yeah, I know. I think that like I appreciate, like you said, being busy for myself. Like, if I want to go see my friends, that's fine. If I want to be an advisor for an organization, that's fine. If I want to, like, join some club, that's fine. That's me. But sometimes that's hard to unblur those lines, like, of what's for you and then what's for other people. And I appreciate trying to figure that out and taking the time to, like, just breathe a little,
Mm-hmm.
reevaluate and try kind of just like enjoy this time. I've saw somebody who was saying like, um, what did they say? Something in the meme where it was like, if you're not using this time to
Oh,
level
that
up, then what are
bullshit.
you doing? And I'm like, if you're not using this time to sleep, what are you doing? We probably not gonna get another huge pandemic for a minute. Like, y'all better use this to sleep and stop playing. Like,
That
y'all
shit
gonna
happened
go right
100 years
back to
ago.
work.
Right
Listen
now,
and be
literally 100 years ago, like this time.
and y'all gonna go back to work and be burnt out because you didn't take the time your body probably desperately needs to just chill the fuck out. And so like especially being like an essential worker, it's tough because I'm still working, so it's not like a complete disconnect.
Yeah.
However, it's just like it's just interesting all the way around. So learning how to be comfortable in nothingness,
Let me ask you this:
you know.
if you had a well, you already made your decision, but I just want like I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna give you two options, and you
Mm-hmm.
tell me which one you would pick. You come out of let's say you're like 20, 21, whatever the case may be, 18, anywhere between 18 and 22, right? You got two choices. You can go to school a more structured route, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get a job, things like that. Essentially the safe route.
Okay.
Or you can go out from the beginning, try to build your dreams up from scratch with no cosign from a university, no job, no white man's job that's paying you a salary and things like that. So you're basically just building it up from the bottom and you struggling, like you're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Which but you're doing what you love. Which route do you take?
Oh, I mean that's tough. Because
Because I feel like
as
that's
much
what's
as
happening now.
huh?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I was
I'll
gonna
tell
say
you
as much
why.
as I associate like the whole 9 to 5 to like the white man's doing
Mm-hmm.
and oppression and all that good stuff. I've always valued education, right? So like I don't necessarily regret going to school. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's just been something that's always been ingrained in me. So I don't know. Maybe it would be different if my mother and my father and everybody else in my family weren't like educators too, right? And didn't push how important that was. In terms of like my dreams and like struggling and things like that, um, I always think that that is like that's such a tough thing to do. Like, would I want to take something that I love and ruin it? I feel like when you do that, you kind of walk a really fine line in terms of ruining the pureness of what you love, and then you're just doing it out of like the fact that you want to be the best. It's really tough, like depending on what your job is. I don't know if I would want to ruin in particular. Like, there's only a few jobs where you can like do the thing that you literally absolutely love and kind of not run it to the ground in terms of working so hard for it that it doesn't necessarily become the thing you love. You're just doing it because now it's your job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd rather kind of have the separation of like, oh, okay, I have this thing that I do, and it's cool. I enjoy it. It's not like the best thing in the world, but it's not the worst either. And then like I can go and do the things that I love with like more of a pureness.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really, it's tough, it's a tough. What would you rather do?
I think about it a lot because I can always hear Dane Dash screaming in my ear whenever I'm at work and I don't like what I'm doing. I'm just like, oh, like I'm not supposed to be working for somebody. But at the same time, it's like I love to do that, but it's like nobody ever. Like I told you earlier, you have to flip. Everything is flipping. So some people they get a 9 to 5 and they flip that money into whatever they want to do as their dream job, right, or their dream
Mm,
entrepreneurial idea. Some people sell drugs. You were a slave to a connect. You were a slave to the law. You wasn't spending that money however you wanted to. You knew you couldn't do that forever. It was a
mm-hmm.
very pressured situation. So with that being said, like I don't think there's any shame in either route. I think what happens is we don't really have context when we look at people doing their dream job. And by context, I talk about like when did your dream job become your dream job? Like when did that actually occur? Like
Uh-huh.
Stephen A. Smith gets paid to talk shit.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't occur until he was in his late 30s or 40s or whatever the case, 40s, 50s, whatever the case may be, right?
Right.
So that means before that, he was hustling as a beat writer, hustling as a journalist, then hustling on Sports Center 12 o'clock at night. Still doing it now, but before he was Stephen A. Smith. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's like you end up, no matter what, you got to pay your dues. So it's just a matter of however you want to do it. You just got to be smart with it. And I think I would do it the way I'm doing it right now. Ain't nothing wrong with getting a 9 to 5, as long as if that's killing you that much, and make sure that's not your end goal. Like,
Yeah.
make sure that you got your plan to get out. If it's killing you, if it's not killing you, if you're a 9 to 5 motherfucker, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, that's what it is. If you're a 9 to 5 or 5 to 9 or whatever your hours are, whatever the case may be, like, that's you. Fuck it, that's you. You know what I mean?
Fuck you, then.
You know what I mean? But just make sure that you working towards whatever you want to do. I think that's the number one thing in life. It's like that poem "Dreams" by Langston Hughes. Like, you gotta have dreams. Like, you have to have dreams, or else you're living a dead life. I mean, that's a oxymoron, but
Yeah, I guess it's really just all about like what would you rather have, and for like I said, for me, I don't mind doing this so that I can do something else later. I would rather have 17 different jobs because I don't necessarily care to be in one spot forever, to be completely honest
oh,
with
you
you.
want to be
Like,
somebody from LA? That
damn,
niggas
why you
work
had to.
three. They be working 4 jobs in 1 week.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
not in 1 week, but I'm
Oh, you
saying
talking
like
about?
in like my lifetime, like there are other things that I'm interested in. So I would like to get really great at something and then be able to like move on. Like if I'm, if I play my cards right, right, have something that provides me with like a steady income, but also making sure that I have the time to do the things that make me happy and it's not ruined because it's the only thing I have to focus on for the rest of, my life. Like that is mundane to me. I think that we are as people naturally interested in more than one thing. Now, there are some people probably like, I don't know, Michael Jordan that cares absolutely nothing else about basketball. Like, I don't know. And he was great at it. I prefer to do a few different things. You know what I mean? I don't care to be the best at it. I just like it for it. And then, kind of keeping it pushing. So, anywho, we got some topics, sir. You ready? Because we got shit to talk about today.
Hey,
I
bro.
mean, it's not a whole lot of shit, but it's shit to talk about today.
Just like in church, hey, listen, we're gonna get y'all out of here in about 30 minutes today, all right?
Mm-hmm. And then you got to multiply it by 3.
Nah, what is it? We about 16 minutes in. We're gonna get y'all out in about 35.
And 35 and the extra 35.
We're gonna get y'all
We
about
about to
30.
see. We gonna see. Don't be doing that shit again. People said they hated when you did that. He's like, "Nah, we ready to go." And I'm like,
Wait, what?
because remember in like old episodes, you would be like,
Nah.
"Nah, we got 10 minutes left."
Let's get the
They'd be
fuck
like,
out of
"Damn,
here.
what's wrong with you? Why are you ready? Why are you trying to leave?
Yeah.
Why are the episodes 30 minutes?" He's like, "I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry." Okay. So now here we are to our new segment. So this segment is called "Does Mike Know It and Does He Give a Fuck?" Right? Does he care? Okay, so are you
You've been
ready,
fucking
sir?
it up lately. I ain't gonna lie, because I've been caring about some of these.
I know. I gotta stump you. You know what it is? The problem is it's quarantine. So ain't really nothing happening. So the stuff that happens, it kind of get around quick. Like you're gonna find out
Yeah.
that it happened, unfortunately. I can't wait for shit to be over and then you go back to your regular life.
Playing
I'd be like,
basketball.
hey, did you hear this? And you like, I watched 17 basketball videos today. No, I did not. No, I did not. Okay. So the first one we have, there have been multiple Chicago parties. Have you heard about this? There was this one party in particular that had 1,000 people in it. Unfortunately, it was people that we share the same skin color with. And I said, God damn it, y'all. This was not the fucking time.
You knew.
I didn't want to, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, this wasn't the time. However, there were about 1,000 people in this one house. And the police came and they shut it down and charged Shorty with like $2,000-3,000 like fine for doing that. And they also charged her with something else. like reckless endangerment or something wild. But
Fire hazard? Fuck.
I mean, at this point, I'd have just been making shit up. You know what? Fire hazard too. Add that on there. But she had like a few different things that she's handling at this point. After she got caught. I mean, if you're gonna do a party, you probably shouldn't post it on Facebook and tell anybody to come through.
That's a good idea.
Because
I
that's
think
extremely
could you pause
traceable.
real quick? In general, not even just quarantine times, don't post the party for everybody to see. If you want to have a good
Yeah, because
party
you really
with,
don't know who's walking up in
yeah,
there.
even if anything college has taught me, if you want to have a solid party, let your friends know.
People should probably do silent parties. It'd probably be less issues because you gotta like take your earphones on and off and shit. Like now you're not disturbing your neighbors. Like everybody's chilling. You know, like you want to talk, you
Nah,
take
I
your
went to a
earphones
silent
off.
party. That shit was terrible, bro. I hated that shit. Like it was lit for
Hey, it
what
might be,
it
but I'm
was lit for
saying
what it was.
longevity. It's a middle of a quarantine. Like you shouldn't have the DJ. All you hear is dun 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 dun. Like I should. I shouldn't be hearing that on the 10:30 on a Saturday. I should, we all supposed to be in bed, okay? Eating like our fourth meal of the day. That's not
Stress
that's
eating
not
and
what you do.
shit.
Yeah, basically. So what do you think? Do you care?
Yeah, I can. I was intrigued when I saw it, and I just thought, "Wow, man!" Like,
Yeah.
but
There
I'm
was
not
also
surprised.
a party recently, I think last night or the night before, where somebody invited a stripper over. And so there was about 100 people in the house watching the stripper, which I don't have a problem with like on a regular day, but
I don't know. Like, I'm not even doing the best with social distancing myself, so I can't even judge them. It's
what's
just
what's
what
what's your social distancing look like?
I mean. If my friends want to hang out, I go
Man,
hang
who
out
wanna
with them.
lie? I mean,
If my friends want to hang out, I want to hang out. Shit, fuck it. I think no, but I think like it's like it's like anything. It's like just be smart. Like just be
smart
smart.
is relative.
You know what I mean? Like just I don't know. Like you like I'm not going up in Walmart, dapping up everybody, bumping into people, breathing everything in and shit like that. However, at the same time, right? Like I go
Mm-hmm.
kick it with my friends and stuff like that. You know? Like if I was to drive to New York City, I'm not going to Manhattan and I'm not going into every single store left or right, things like that. I'm just driving through. I got my windows up. I go right to my house and that's it. Like I'm not gonna catch the Roni like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's you know what I mean? That's just not gonna happen. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I don't know, like I get it. We're all kind of like losing our minds and things like that because like we don't have nothing to do
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like seeing each other and going outside, but I don't think that it's worth like my friend catching it, passing it along. I don't know, to say somebody they might have like health issues in like their family and now they passed away or my friend has passed away just because I haven't seen my friends in a while. Like I don't know, I feel really conflicted because I get it. I understand it. It's really tough for people. Like you wanna do stuff. And at the same time, like, is it really worth risking? Because even if you aren't presenting symptoms, like you could still have it and be passing it along to people, and not everybody in that party is gonna make it. Somebody in that bitch had that had that disease, and now a whole lot of somebody's got that disease, whether you are
Yeah,
are
yeah.
knowing of it or not.
Like as much as I miss basketball, I wouldn't go to it. Even if they literally opened up the gym tomorrow, I wouldn't go because it's just not. It's not smart. Like I would only go to like controlled environments and shit like that. You know what I mean? If I do find myself like I've flown in the past month or so, like got my gloves on, don't touch nobody, don't touch my face, shit like that. When I
Barely
actually get to
breathe.
what, yeah, when I get to wherever I'm going, throw the clothes immediately in the dirty laundry, like shit like that. You know what I mean? There's ways to get by it, but you gotta do like it's like anything, man. Find your happy middle.
Yeah.
But
I don't
yeah,
know. Find people that you know are healthy
uh-huh.
and do like I don't know, two or three people. They said no more than 10 people at a time. If you count and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you 10, that's
There it
it.
is.
That's it. Either one of y'all got to go or everybody just sits down. Like I've seen people go to the park and just like sit 6 feet away from each other, all in a circle. Hey,
Dead ass.
do what you got to do, but you probably should not pack 1,000 people into your house. It's probably not smart.
Probably true.
Okay, going on the Roni train, right? Florida has opened up its beaches, and Georgia has also opened up some businesses like nail salons and
Really?
restaurants, and movie theaters and all that jazz.
Really?
Yeah, it's wild down there. Yeah.
So they really just
And
living.
people are actually going is the wilder part. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
That's not wild to me. I was expecting
I'm
it.
not gonna hold y'all. I'm gonna be like that one girl on Instagram, and she was like, "I'm gonna let the first iOS update go, and then see whatever the kinks are, and then I'm gonna wait for the re-release." So I'm waiting for
Yeah,
the
that's pretty much what you
re-release.
gotta do. Yeah, that's what you really
Yeah.
gotta do. Like, there's no way. Everybody's talking about, oh yeah, we might open up schools, we might open up work, and yada yada yada. If you think I'm gonna go jump right back into that bitch like it's normal,
Oh,
no,
definitely not.
hell no, bro. I'm coming up in that bitch with a hazmat suit. Like, I'm not fucking with
That
y'all.
has mess. Nice to meet you.
Sound like Darth Vader. Like, ain't no way. Bro, like it's a setup. Like, and
hmm
honestly, you gotta really. I'm about to get put on my kufi, get real
Oh,
woke.
okay. Don't forget the dark shades.
Yeah, in fact, you gotta really pay attention to who's telling you to go out there into the streets and be normal again. It's the motherfuckers that have maximum security around them and have no need to be out in public. Why would I listen to Trump?
Honey.
Like, all them white people in the Midwest are stupid, bro. That man does not have to interact with anyone, and he's telling you to go back out there into the factories and shit like that, so that you can work for him and make his cars and make his money and get shit because you're
Yeah.
expendable.
Yeah, I
But
read about this thing where it said when so you know how the government had to pay out X amount of dollars to everybody, right? A few trillion, right? So the reason why someone theorized that they're trying to open back up is because if we say everything's back open for business and you refuse to go to work, then like they can fire you, right? Like you can't be on like unemployment if you like quit type shit. Like instead of like the government like having to pay you and
yeah,
things like that. And like also like other small businesses, like they don't have to help small businesses if they're saying no, we are telling you you can open back up. So if it's no longer like the law to be quarantining and to shut down your businesses, then the law no longer has to like help you out in that area. And I was thinking to myself, like, damn, that's really fucked up because if I am thinking, you know what, it's still just not safe. Georgia has 24 plus thousand cases of confirmed of the coronavirus, right? Almost about 2,000 people have died in Georgia alone. I do not think, and I could be wrong, that this is the time to be opening up restaurants for people to dine in. You know, dine out, one thing, dine in, completely different. And so it makes me wonder, I saw this one girl, she said, listen, don't y'all go out there until they start opening up the country clubs, until they start
that's
opening up the golf courses, and they start opening up all the stuff those rich white people go out to.
a
When they
fact.
start opening that shit up, then I might poke my head out. But even then, I'm still wearing a mask. I'm wearing my hazmat suit, like you said. Listen, the gloves, everything. Y'all gotta be careful out here. Y'all tripping.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. It's a setup. It's a dead ass setup.
Yeah.
Completely.
And like, who goes to all of those businesses? To be completely honest with you, who's spending the most money? We know how much the black dollar is worth in every other community but ours. Let me tell you something, y'all. Don't go out there. Don't do it to yourself, and don't y'all be spending that stimulus check on stupid shit. Y'all better hold that money and stop playing.
At least save that. I mean, obviously you can go do whatever you want to do, but I mean, put a little away. I mean, like with any money you get, you should put a little bit
You
away.
seen what Best Buy was doing?
Hmm.
Best Buy was lowering their TVs to exactly $1,200. I
You're
swear, I
lying.
swear to God, I swear to God, I swear to God. A
You're
lot of their
mad.
TV
Yeah.
prices dropped right around that stimulus check
Yeah, this
started.
country is
It
wild,
is. It
bro.
is really crazy. Fashion Nova sent me a text message talking about, girl, we know you got that stimulus. What you doing?
You're
Move over.
lying.
I swear to God. I swear to God. They definitely sent it out and was like, spend a little on yourself. Treat yourself. Sis, I don't trust nobody else but myself who tells myself to treat me. I don't trust nobody who tells me what I should do with my money except for myself. Y'all better be careful. Be careful.
Nah, that's wild. I didn't even hear about that. You should have asked me about that. Yeah, I ain't talk about that.
Well, yeah,
These
these
niggas is
businesses out
different.
here, these big businesses, they got a bottom line too. That we ain't gonna get our
Yeah,
stretchy jeans no
everybody
more.
everybody got to eat, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, okay, well, on to the next topic. So, have you heard about all of the different protests and things like that in all the different states to open back up? Have you heard about it?
I think I heard about Michigan. What did I tell you about that one?
So there's some Michigan, there's some in Michigan, there's some in Pennsylvania.
For real?
A
I
lot
thought
of
it was just in Michigan.
no, it's a few different places actually that people are going around and losing their minds about opening back up. So instead of demanding the government to take care of them like the government probably should, like what it's supposed to be used for, they're demanding that they go back and risk their lives and everybody else's lives. So,
I don't really care about it, honestly.
all right, moving on. You right. On a positive note, there has been no murder cases in Miami since 1957 due to the quarantine and everybody having to literally sit their ass down
You
at
said
home.
1957?
1957. My father wasn't even born yet.
What you're saying is that nobody's been murdered in Miami, Florida since
There has
1957.
been no one who has been murdered. There has been no cases of anyone being murdered in Miami since 1957. You have
I
heard
think
that
Rick
correctly.
Ross lyrics contradicts that.
Don't be putting Rick Ross out here. You don't know what cases he got. You don't know who
I don't
watching
know,
him.
but ain't Kodak from Miami or some shit like that? I think he probably got a few bodies in Miami, bro. Ain't no way.
Hey, there
Fucking
has been
nobody's been
no
murdered.
reported cases.
Okay.
Let's start
Okay,
there. No
let's
reported cases. I'm sure Billy Bob somewhere is probably out here wilding. However, we ain't caught Billy Bob and whoever else Billy Bob got. So reportedly, this is a happier news. There has been no murder cases in Miami. That's a good thing.
well, God bless. God bless.
We know how hard it is for Florida to get it together. We know how
They
hard it is.
literally cut their nose off in spite of their face. Like, that is Florida.
I mean, you know how that goes. You know how that should go. All right. And then the last thing. No, wait. Oh well. Have you heard about Kim Jong Un? Kim Jong Un.
That he's sick or something like that?
Yeah. So my man is like reportedly dead, but not dead.
Huh?
Right. So apparently, the Japanese I don't know what is he ruler. I don't, what is their what
You
is it
talking about
called?
Kim Jong-un?
Yeah.
North Korea?
Oh shit! I said Japanese. North Korean. What is their hierarchy over there? What are they called? What is the rulers called?
He's the
Is he emperor?
wow. You
What
talk
is?
about me. You talk about me. Nah, he's a I don't know if it's prime minister. No, chairman. I think he's chairman or something. They call it chairman or some shit like that.
Okay.
But
Well, the
yeah,
leader of
North Korea.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Yeah, I blinked out. The leader of North Korea underwent a heart surgery a few days ago, right? And nobody has seen him since. That was like April 15th. And so a lot of people have been reporting that he is in a vegetable state and has not woken up. And they have also been putting out that he is alive and well and doing well. He's moving around, he's recovering. However, nobody has physically seen this man.
Well, with them countries, you never know what the truth is.
I don't know.
So.
I don't know.
Well, as everybody else, let's say praise out to the Kim Jong Un family. Shout out to North Korea.
My man
Shout
Trump
out-
hurting right now. That's his guy. That's his guy.
You know how like
Oh, that was
you know
the
how
problematic laugh. What you was about to say?
You know how like like people be like sworn enemies and shit like that, but they respect each other, so they like still like be sad when they another person sick, like
Your favorite arch enemy and shit.
Yeah, so it'd be like Professor X and like Magneto, Obama and McCain, it'd be like. So it'd be like, damn, bro, like, damn.
Damn, I kind of fucked with you though. Yeah, I
So
feel that.
like,
yeah,
I
so
feel like
I don't know. My man is he MIA now. We ain't nobody seen him in a minute. So,
well, praise out to the Un family. Shouts out to North Korea.
ain't he like a dictator though?
Hey, bro, praise out.
I mean, I don't wish any death on anybody.
That's what
specifically.
everybody in the industry say. So I'm just trying to be industry.
Oh, that's your industry like voice.
Yeah,
Do you really want to be like industry with like North Korea though? Like, What you got going on
I'm
over
just
in
talking
North
about being
Korea?
industry in the podcast world and just the media world.
Oh, okay.
Anytime something happens, people like praise out.
I was
Anytime
trying
you
to figure
praise
out like
somebody
what
up,
type of trade deals you got going on. Like,
shouts
that I
out.
didn't
I
know.
might be, hey, bro, I might be investing in North Korea in something.
That's what
Who
I'm trying
knows?
to figure out. Like what you. All right.
Listen.
Anyway, that's all I've got for our segment today. I hope you've enjoyed it. It seemed like you knew a lot this time. I'm gonna find some wild next time. I'm gonna find some on like the B pages. They ain't got shit to do with nothing.
I know why I know everything, but I'm gonna tell you when we get off the air.
You right. You right.
I know why I know everything.
Well, I'm done.
But... Oh shit, we out here then?
Oh,
Oh,
bye.
that's it, folks. Nah. So the other day I was, I mean, scrolling through Netflix and shit like that, trying to find something to do, and I came across this preview for a show called Black AF. And normally I never let any of these things run. I either care about it or I don't, and I usually don't. But for whatever reason, this shit started playing, and I was watching, and I couldn't understand why. I caught myself halfway through the preview with a scowl on my face, and I couldn't understand why. Because normally I do have a scowl on my face, but this one felt different. It felt different.
This one was involuntary. I just didn't understand
Yeah.
why.
It didn't feel right. You know what I mean? And then when I realized it was, I'm sick and oh fuck! Drop my
How
mic.
angry are you?
Oh yeah, dropping the mic. I'm tired of watching black excellence. Like I'm tired of seeing light skinned black people. I'm
Okay.
tired of seeing black people in Fendi. I'm tired of seeing black people in clothes I can't afford, and cars I can't drive, houses I'm not in, fake being black.
Okay. That's a little different
Fake,
from your original statement. Okay.
being fake black. No, I'm getting to that. Being fake black with all these things and stuff like that for trying to like keep it real still and shit like that. Like I'm tired of people being trying to keep it real. Like it just feels fake.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
Black AF should probably instead of black as fuck should probably be like black and fake.
Black and fake.
Yeah. So I came to you and I wanted to just talk about like, do you not get annoyed with seeing like with like black media's focus on the black elite and the upscale black life and shit like that? Because like to me, there's a difference between like okay, I don't mind watching black people or seeing black people do cool things like going to art shows or living that life. What feels patronizing is when they're in that world and they're still trying to be like me where I'm at. And it's like, no, you're at where you're at. It's fine. Be yourself. It doesn't feel genuine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's frustrating for me because it's like there's people where I'm at soaking this shit up. It's like you don't see these people tap dancing in front of you, mocking you. It doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this question or like this topic is like twofold because I have a couple different issues with the show in general, right? So I think that the format of the show, there's nothing wrong with the format, right? It's a mockumentary type thing where, they follow you around. You have like these different things that they're exploring every episode. And then, you're supposed to learn something from it, excuse me. I have an issue because the person who is the main character, right? What is his name? Kenya Burrs or Kenya's, I can't
I
remember
don't know
his
these
last
people.
name. But he's the person who created Blackish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Grownish and Mixedish.
Great show. Shouts out to Blackish. Shouts out to Grownish.
You just gonna forget Mixedish?
Huh? Oh shit! I don't watch that, so I'm not gonna shout
I
out
haven't
him
watched
out.
Mixedish. But so he's that person, and it felt like to me um when I watched the trailer was that he took Blackish, put it on a different platform, and added a lot of cursing in it, type of thing. So it didn't feel like it was something that was new. He took the kind of like similar format.
That's another one too. You just making. I'm watching Blackish, just worse.
Yeah.
with
Well,
poor worse act
I've
with worse
seen
actors too.
I've seen one
With worse
episode, so I wouldn't
actors.
say that it's worse, right? But I do have issues with the show in general. Like, I do get tired of. I have gotten tired of seeing like the light skin or the majority light skin family, right? And that being
Mm.
like the black excellence. Like that is our motto for what black excellence is. Or there's always a light skin, um dominance, I guess you can say, like within the show, like lighter, brighter people in terms of black people. So I do get tired of seeing that in terms of being celebrated. Like when we're not being celebrated and like wealthy and things like that, I can't really call on too many shows where the majority of the cast is darker skin, like brown and darker skin, and they're successful without them being the ratchet family, without them being the loud family, without them being not well off and like down and trodden or like in the hood, right? So it's like those themes that you were talking about, like of colorism and stuff like that. It really does get a little frustrating, because he's telling that story already, right? He's telling it through Dre and Bo and Blackish, right? Who's
Mm.
supposed to be representative of him and his life and his wife and his kids. And so I feel like you've told that story. It's necessary for mixed folk and light skinned folk and dark skinned folk to all have that platform, and I feel like he created it. I feel like to a certain extent he's exploiting it as well, right? Like these different things with like mixed-ish. I don't know how well it's telling the
You
mixed-ish.
watched it?
I have seen an episode. And I don't know when it comes down to this particular person, Kenya, I think it's Burrs or Burgess or something like that. Um, to a certain extent, I think he does a great job with trying to communicate things, but I don't think that the communication is really for us, right? And so when I see a show called Black as Fuck, I kind of expect it to like be for us or tell me a different story or tell me stories that are like legit for us, like you say. Um, and not just the family that you have, because I'm sure all your family doesn't look like your immediate family, right? I'm sure all your experiences don't look like your immediate family. But that's the only one that we have the representation
Yeah,
about.
because you're half black. So that means show me the black part.
Yeah, like I said, if it's black as fuck, I kind of want to see some black as fuck stuff, right? And not in a sarcastic way, not in a what's it called, stereotypical way. I kind of am tired of seeing that, and I kind of see that also in his work as well. And so I get comedic relief, but I feel like that story has been told, and I feel like now he's telling another story, and I just kind of don't want to see it. I'm sorry. I saw one episode where the little boy called his dad a dick, and I said, "Excuse me." The little boy is like 5 or 6, whatever. I don't know. He was young, and I said, "Nah, that's not, no, it ain't black as fuck." Because my first of all, I would have said, "You're,"
Yeah,
and woke up
I can't
7
call my
years later
parents
in the
anything.
hospital.
I can't say you're anything to my like you're
I
not
can't even
anything.
turn back
There's
around.
no
You said something. That's it.
yeah.
I'm going upstairs.
Yeah, that was it. Like that was just it. Like and that, you know what's the thing about it? It's like with black-ish,
Mhm.
right? When I when I look at what's that motherfucker's Dre,
Mhm.
right? When I look at Dre, the show even itself is making fun of the fact that he's it's a large part of the show is the fact that he was this person from Compton and is losing who he is and is trying to like balance being from Compton and where he is now. I think it's like North Hollywood, Beverly Hills, wherever the fuck they're
Mhm.
at, right? So it's like that's a joke in itself. It's acknowledging the fact that he's trying to still keep it real,
Mhm.
but then also he is who he is. That's a joke in itself. But I feel like what Black as Fuck is like that acknowledgement is gone, and it's like we're really trying to make this the black experience. It's like, come on, bro, it's not.
Yeah,
Like that's
that's why I
not.
said I feel bad because I don't. I get tired of the idea that I have to support this thing just because it's black. And that's like a whole different conversation within itself. And they had that conversation on one of the episodes because my friend made us watch it, and everybody else is like, they're like, it is what it is, laughing here and there. And I am the only one physically sweating. I have a blanket over my head because I can't. I'm like banging my head against the thing because I'm like, I am so tired. That is a different conversation that we definitely need to have though about.
Because I just want to say that I've been right.
I think that there's a conversation that we definitely have to have, right? If you want to be right,
Nah,
sweetie,
fuck all
you
that.
are right.
Nah. If you do it right now, I'm
You
ready
said
now.
ready now?
I'm ready.
Okay, well
I'm
then let
ready
me
right
end this
now.
point then. I think that I'm not tired of watching Black excellence, but I think that we have to be extremely aware of how we are depicting that Black excellence. We have so
Yes.
many shades of black. So many. And honestly, if it's a dark-skinned person, they go get Lupita. She is amazing. Don't get me wrong. However, there are other dark-skinned people that we can call on. We have brown-skinned folk that we can call on. We have so many different stories in terms of blackness that we can call on, but we keep kind of telling the same kind of story, and it is kind of pissing me off at this point, you know.
It's
um
just white. It's just showing white people. That's
I
all it is.
mean,
It's either what we have now is either white people or the aspiration to be white.
that's interesting conversation.
Ooh,
Yeah, that fucked
bougie.
me up. I ain't gonna hold you. I like when you do that. Do that again.
Hey, bro, it takes time. It takes time. You got it like that. It ain't like a fucking
Yeah, I
pause.
just
It ain't a spade,
I
bro.
but overall I really just want different stories. Like I want the story of the middle class family, the one that might not necessarily be rich, but they're not also in the hood, right?
Give me Family
I
Matters.
mean, without like the slapstick and shit. Like, you know, you know me. I don't care for sitcoms, so let me put that out there right now. I'm not the one that doesn't that.
You're not black. You talking about I'm not
Okay,
black.
but anywho,
Well, then again, I hate Martin, so
there
go
you
figure.
go. I think that we can expect better quality of the things that we want. I think that there's nothing wrong with talking about black excellence, and there's nothing wrong with talking about like shit that's happening in the hood. But we have to be careful about the images that we're putting out there and making sure that we're not stereotyping just like everybody else is stereotyping us. Because there are some
Mhm.
things that are funny and we can laugh about and joke about, and it's like, haha, yeah, that's us. But like, I'm kind of tired of us being the butt of our jokes, and I can get into that in this like next little clip, right? So anyway, right? Morel made us watch this episode in particular.
Real.
Real. Shout out
Shouts
to
out to Real.
Real. Shout out to Real. Anyway, so she made us watch this
Uh,
particular episode of Black It or Black
Bro, it's
as
supposed to
Fuck.
be a fake shout out. It's not real shout out. Like it's an industry shout out. You just say it
No,
just
but
because you
I
gotta
actually
say it.
made
You
my
don't
shit.
really
Shout out
gotta.
to Real. Anyways, so there's this episode, and in the episode, it starts with the main character. I don't know exactly. It seems like he works in the industry somehow somewhere. Like I don't know if it's in terms of marketing or whatever. Like kind of like in Blackish, but it's something of the matter. I don't know because I only watched this episode and it's like the fifth one in. Anyway, so
I hope they don't think this means that we don't get blackish no more. They just go in this direction. Like I better get blackish.
anyways,
I just had to say that.
okay, okay. So then it starts off with him at a movie screening, and it's a black director talking about like this black movie, and him and his daughter are sitting in there, and they're confused as fuck because they're like, this movie was trash. Like, so the argument for the episode was, do we keep supporting black people, right, and not call out the bullshit? Because like there are people out here who are creating bullshit and saying it's for the black like experience, it's for the black person, da da da. So I'm looking at this show and I'm like, well, damn, he got a lot of nerve, like in general, because I get it, you're sparking this conversation, but then you go and you do the same things that you're talking about we should be reconsidering, right? So that's the story's main plot. And the reason why I'm like, damn, he's a contradiction within itself sometimes, because there's a subplot, and his wife is talking about how because their kids are from her and she's biracial, that they have to learn how to dance because they can use that in their black repertoire to be accepted in the black community, right? So she tells her husband that she wants to have a barbecue. And as they're getting ready for the barbecue, she says only his family can come because they're black, right? And she wants their kids to get the black experience. As they're getting ready, he's telling his family to go hide all of their expensive electronics. He's taking off his jewelry. They're hiding the artwork in the house. And so I'm like, how are you going to argue that we should it's hard to get out. How are you going to argue whether or not we should be cautious of supporting black stuff even if it's trash, and then you present me trash? Like how many times am I gonna get that joke of, oh shit, the poor black people are coming, so let's hide all of our stuff, or the real black people are coming. So let's make sure that, we hide the good shit because, they ghetto, they
So does
loud.
that end with acknowledging
No,
the wrong in
no,
that? Oh, okay, cool.
no, it did not.
Okay.
That was the joke. So they out there and he's,
Because I want to make sure we point that out, like the diff. Because there might be someone listening saying, "But they do that in Blackish." No, in Blackish, that is acknowledged as being wrong, and then it ends with the like Cosby Show. Sorry for like bringing that up, but it ends with the kumbaya moment where we realize, oh, well, this is why it's wrong,
yeah, no.
right? Like if you don't end with that, then you're just as bad as white people making fun of us for that. You
I'm
know what I
really
mean?
tired of seeing like stereotypical shit, right? And then it gave me something that was very stereotypical. It did spark a really good conversation because like the group of us sat there and we had a conversation about the episode. More me yelling like I usually do, how passionately about how I hate shit like this. But he also had like Tyler Perry on there, right? And so Tyler Perry's like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like you tell your stories, I'm telling my stories, and like fuck what everybody else says. And I'm like, I don't know whose story Tyler Perry is telling because it ain't mine. Medea's funeral is not anywhere near anything Tyler Perry has done in the last 10 years. Ain't got nothing to do with any of the black experiences I have ever had in my life or have ever heard of in my life. They had the Will Packer on there, who I think he did Ride Along 2 or he did Night School, one of them. But he had both directors. So Will Packer and then something school. Tim something. God damn it. Lena Waithe was on there. Issa Rae was on there, and Ava DuVernay was on there, and they were all.
Oh, is it that joke when they were like, how like, well, I made something,
And it's
something
like,
million
oh well,
off
at
of
least I didn't make Night School, like yeah, that in the like opening
yeah.
credits. So that was that episode, and so he's like, let's talk about like the good things that we've made, and he's like, okay, so let's talk about the bad things and like whether we should be supporting the bad things, and I'm like, well, if that was the case, then I probably wouldn't be supporting this show because it's really not for me. But it is a good conversation to have. Like, should we kind of stop doing that in the name of it being black? I'd love to hear your take.
I was one of the few. I don't know if there were other people in the world. I might have been the only one when Issa Rae has said, "Well, I'm fuck."
I'm
What
rooting
did
for
she say? Like
everybody
I'm
black.
supporting, right? And I said, that's a bad thing to say." Not because I understand the nuance in what she's
Mm-hmm.
saying. However, we know how things work with social media and our world today. We take a clip of something, we take a bit of something, and we take it for what it is. Sometimes literally, sometimes out of context, whatever it is. But a lot of times, sometimes something that's powerful is said, it gets used, it gets flipped into something that probably wasn't meant for originally. I don't think Issa Rae meant I'm supporting Ben Carson. Like, I don't think she meant that. However, what ended up happening is the equivalent. It's like because something is black, we just blindly throw our love and trust at it and our support towards it, not really challenging ways like, is this really for me? So we have people that are not saying these people are good or bad, I don't know, but we have these people throwing their vote at Kamala Harris, throwing their vote at what's the black dude's name? Light skinned politician, I can't remember his name, in Jersey.
Oh shit. Oh, I can see his
You know
face.
who I'm
Yeah.
talking about though, right? Yeah, the light skinned bald dude, right?
Booker?
He looked like
Cory Booker?
yeah, Cory Booker. He looked
Oh,
like
chill out though. I like Cory
from,
Booker. He was cool.
like I said, neither one. I'm not saying neither one is a good or bad. I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
saying
I was
people
about to
just
say, nah,
blindly
chill,
throwing their
chill, chill,
support
chill, chill,
towards.
chill.
Don't he look like which one is Key? Which one is the light skinned one? Key and Peele, the light skinned bald headed one. Is it Peele? Or is it Key?
Oh,
Whichever one. But he looked like one of them
that's
motherfuckers.
Key.
Okay, he looked like Key. But but nah, so like with that being said, like we end up having this thing where people don't understand nuance and understanding like everything don't need to be supported. Like it's not okay that people voted for Obama because he's black. Believe me, I'm happy that Obama was elected.
Oh, I
I
voted
am
for him
not
because he's black.
saying that I'm not, and it's not
I couldn't
okay.
vote at the time, honey. I wasn't old enough.
No. I know you could have. What I'm saying is like, and I'm saying the concept of it is not okay. Like it's not okay. Like we should not be like blindly throwing it because it can be
Mm-hmm.
misused. Look at Kanye West
Oh
out there trying to
Jesus.
use the black card. You're trying to use the black card and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's people falling for it. By that logic, we should be supporting Kanye.
Yeah.
And it's not okay. And I used to get really annoyed with that. And they used to be like, "Oh, you just hate black people." And even you used to say that shit to me. And I'm like, no, like, really understand what I'm trying to say. It's not okay to just support stuff just because it's black. That's not enough of a reason. It's just not.
Because having this conversation with like our other friends and things like that, I like recognizing what it is right now in the system. I get it, right? Like, if we deserve to have shitty movies and we deserve to have great movies. The problem that I have, and shows is TV shows and stuff like that as well. The problem that I have is that I feel sometimes we get more of the shitty end though than we do of the
Mm-hmm.
great end. And so I have no problem with someone wanting to tell their story, but there are a lot of people that we're not reaching back to make sure that that story is told in a good way as well, right? Like, A Wrinkle in Time probably wasn't the best of Ava DuVernay's work, but she also did like,
I don't know what that
I'm
is.
sure it's a kid. It was a kids movie, um, but also she did like When They See Us. Right? I'm okay with you have
What's that
When
again?
They See Us was Central Park 5.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm okay with you having a bomb every once in a while. When I know that you're putting in great work and that we are giving opportunities for people who do great work, right? She did Selma. That was a great movie, right? I get tired of the Medeas though. I get tired that Tyler Perry is the only person that's writing his stuff and he's not allowing for other black actors and writers to come in and, have input on what the black experience is like. He's had 50 million chances to do it and they've damn near all been shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, there's been like two or three great ones and then there's like 15 really bad ones. Like, I don't know. I want to support.
Pay attention to who's getting casted. Pay attention to who's getting casted in those Tyler Perry movies and who's not in those movies, and you'll start to get an idea of like why we shouldn't really be fucking with Tyler Perry movies.
Oh, I mean, Tyler Perry is a whole different conversation. Let's not even.
It's a whole
that
different booth
that
because I'll put my next 3 checks. I'll never see Denzel Washington in the Tyler Perry movies.
sweetheart. I was
I'll
about to
put
say
my
something
next three
problematic.
checks.
I'm not even about to. You are hella right though. You're hella right. Um,
I've never seen
that is
Denzel
a
Washington.
fact and a
So yeah.
half. I guess I'm just tired of. I'm not gonna support the bullshit, I guess, anymore. Like, I can see the bullshit. As much as I like Kevin Hart, I want to see him win. Night School is just not it for me. Get Smart is just not it for me, or whatever that stupid ass movie was with Will Ferrell in it. It's just not my type of comedy. I wish you the best, but I was at one point where I'm like, I have to support it because we support the shitty white stuff. But I'm not supporting the shitty white stuff either. So if I'm not gonna support that, I don't think I want to support the black shitty stuff either. I want our stories to
It's
be
kind of
told,
like
but like in a good light too. I'm tired of all of the stereotypical shit. Really am.
like I don't know, like with I think that you have this problem now because I want to I'm gonna challenge you to I'm gonna throw the devil's advocate, right? Um, we say we gotta support things, right? Now taking it away from like media in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
right? And just in general, you know how people say believe women when they say that they're being sexually harassed or
Oh,
assaulted and things like
Jesus.
that. I hope you see the
Nah, I'm not
parallel here
doing
that
it
I'm
with
trying to
you. I'm
draw.
not going there with you.
You gotta come
No,
with me on
you're
these
gonna jump.
polos.
You jumping right off that cliff all by your lonesome.
Right. So by that logic, that's the
Mm-hmm.
equivalent. When we say we have to, and remember I used to say that's a
That's
dangerous
your
thing to say.
equivalent.
If I'm bugging, tell me I'm bugging.
Because I know you, I know what you are trying to say.
And I'm not saying that sexual assault and harassment is the same as supporting movies and things like that. What I'm saying is the notion
There
of
is a danger
supporting
of
a
blindly
marginalized
supporting one side or the other.
oh yes, of a marginalized
Okay.
identity. Granted, I will be the first person if a woman comes up to me and tells me that she was sexually harassed by someone. I immediately feel anger and I feel like all these things. I have to catch myself and I say, "Wait, Mike, gather the facts. Gather as much information as you can because I'm a firm believer in due process and what I mean, innocent before until proven guilty because everybody has that right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair to just blindly, go in a certain direction. So with that being said, if we are blindly, if we not blindly, but if we are in that belief of believe women when they say, or believe anyone when they say they be sexually harassed, is it fair to then turn around and not just support the black media, black art, and things like that? Because I could easily see someone starting to say like, well, y'all are just out here supporting white women with everything they do, or we're supporting queer people with whatever they do, but when it comes to black people, now y'all want to have like this super high standard for us.
Yeah, it's tough.
So I'm not saying I believe in this. I'm just saying that this is,
I think it's
you know what
tough.
I mean?
There's nuance in everything, and I will honestly, I'm gonna support us before I support anybody else. That's just, end of the
Mm.
day, right? And I think that I have
And
the
before you continue, are you doing that because it's just like, is it because you are like attracted to that kind of content, or is it because you are just saying, I'm going to support black people because I want to support black people? Because I do it because I'm more attracted to black
it's
content,
I mean, it's
not
both
because
though.
I feel
It's
like it.
both. Like, I really do want to see us win, right? So I put my money in night school knowing damn well it probably wasn't for me. Like, it was a 50-50 chance going in there that the comedy I was going to see was not in there for me, right? But if I had to choose that and another movie that had a predominantly white cast or whatever the case may be, and I'm giving it that 50-50 chance, and I'm definitely going to put my money into us first, right? That's just how I feel, because I want to see us win. I really do. I just want us to be able to critique and expect more from each other when we don't like it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I should be able to say I don't like it. But it's really hard to do that, because if I criticize you, right, then it opens up for us to be criticized to the world, right? Now everybody's criticizing us openly. And it's a really hard line to walk. But I want more for my community, and I want more for us in our stories that are being told. I'm tired of, like I said, the stereotypical, haha, that's black. No, it's not. Y'all know it's not. Like, not really. Not the way that is being exaggerated on TV. Like, give me something that's more authentic. Even if it is a comedy, I want something that's more authentic to us, instead of like some of the stuff that I kind of turn on and turn off of TV.
So I think I understand what you're saying a little bit differently now than when we were talking from before. So what I'm picking up that you're putting down is that
I like when you do that. Do that.
is that you want us meaning black people to have more leeway to judge and critique black art, and not just everything is just lit because it's black. You want us to actually
Yeah.
be able to have those conversations. So are you saying, when you say I want us to be able to, are you saying that in the sense that we weren't able to before, or are you just using that phrase loosely, like I just want us to start doing that?
Well, like I was saying, I was having this conversation with a few other friends, and so one point that a friend of mine was trying to make was that we can't do that publicly, because it opens up for white people and for other races to judge us publicly,
Oh,
right?
so you're
And
saying
that's
you
some of the things
literally
that we
be
are like,
able to.
yeah. So it's like, no, I feel like we should be able to hold each other accountable when it's just not good, right? Like, I know we're not there now. So therefore I'm dollar, because I want to see us win. But I do also want us to be able to critically think about the information that we're putting out there. You know what I mean? And I will always feel as though it's really important to think about the messages that we're putting out there. We say it's funny, but why are some of those stereotypes funny? Who told us that? And like, I look at it and sometimes I just like shake my head inside, because I'm like, even watching that one episode I was telling you about, I don't want to see that the black side of your family is supposed to be like the loud ones, the criminals, because they're going to steal your stuff or they're going to ask you for money. Like, we have those people in there, but we also have some like really other dope characters in our family that are just as funny, that are just as like maybe as successful or whatever the case may be. And those stories don't get told. Like, why is it that that has to be the funny thing, or the loud black grandma who's about to shoot up the whatever? Why is that the funny thing? I guess like having those critical conversations, and be able to publicly do those things and say, you know what, we expect more from our artists who are giving us who are giving these things to us. But I also understand that it is a catch-22, and if we open up that door, then pretty much everybody's going to run through it in terms of like criticizing us in our art, you know?
Nah,
So
I feel you.
that's where I'm at on that.
Yeah, it's tough. It's and I hate whenever you have to say it's tough because it's like I'm a very black and white. I want to get to something, but you got it's tough because a lot of times as black people we're always put in a well shitty on this side and shitty on the other one. It's kind of like voting right now. It's like well, it's real shitty on one side and it's pretty shitty on the other one. So and so but so with that being said, I want to finish up with you when you were talking about Kevin Hart, you was talking about the slapstick, and you was talking about people making comedy that's just like it almost feels like selling out to a certain extent, right? Um, and it made me
Mm-hmm.
think of this Jay-Z verse. Um, and I'm a quote the whole thing, and then afterwards, I want you to tell me what you think about it in reference to like this concept of like comedy not being realistic, and it feels like it's pandering to the masses instead of like us as black people, right?
Okay.
He said, "I dumbed down for my audience to double my dollars. They criticized before, yet they all yell holler. If skills so, truth be told, I'd probably be lyrically, Talib Kweli. Truthfully, I want to rhyme like common sense, but I did 5 mil, and I ain't been rhyming like common sense." So that verse was in reference to if you listen to Jay-Z's older catalog, when you think about Reasonable Doubt, when you think about those songs back then, you think about Volume 3, shit like that, and you hear the change from that when you start to hear him transition into Blueprint 3, then you start hearing Change Clothes, and you start hearing Show Me What You Got, shit like that, right? The more commercial Jay-Z, you see, one might argue that he sold out. Like instead of really being about bars and lyrics, and don't get me wrong, he still got his shit off. We're not questioning that, but the sound changed. Like if you listen to OJ, he could get his shit off. He could get into that rapidy rap, mad bars in like in a verse, and give you 300 bars mad fast, and get his shit off. But he changed. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it makes, and then he goes on to say in the rest of the verse, um, we as rappers must decide what's most important. And I can't help the poor if I'm one of them. So I got rich and gave back to me. That's the win-win. So
Mm-hmm.
do you think that's what a Kevin Hart or what's his name, Kenyatta, or whatever his name is,
Kenya birth.
or whatever
I mean, like, yeah, it's tough because I know like another thing that Blackish or not Blackish, excuse me, Black as fuck got criticized for is like his writing room is white.
his what?
So his writing room,
Mm,
like the people who
mm,
write like the episodes and stuff, reportedly is white. I didn't fact check this, so I
mm,
don't know exactly, but it definitely would speak to that, right? If they are, I can understand one if you're like, okay, I'm trying to get rich, I'm trying to make it out of the hood, whatever the case may be. I got to do what I do. I have to do what I have to do in order to make it out. And then if you get up to the top and you turn around and say, you know what? I had to do the I had to dumb it down, but I'm going to pave the way so that when I reach back, they don't have to dumb it down. So we can birth all the other commons. I'm cool with that.
mm-hmm.
What I don't fuck with is you giving me shit and then saying it's for us, and then you don't have people in there that like that proves that point. You could be hiring black writers,
Mm-hmm.
right? You could be hiring black producers, black directors, black this, black that, if it's really for us. Like I would even give it a pass if that was the case. But it's not. Like I was having the argument and I was saying how one thing I don't fuck with Tyler Perry about in particular is that he has 17 different shows. He could be employing a lot of black writers right now. And he writes all of this stuff for himself. And it's bad content. It's bad. It's old, it's recycled, and it's bad. And
To
so
you,
instead of, let me tell you something. It is old. It is recycled,
It
and it's
clearly
bad.
is not
To
if
all
he's
of
out
you,
here selling
and
out
to
movie
all of
theaters and
these,
stuff like
you
that.
know what? He is serving a very specific demographic, right? Very specific demographic, and we can get into that later.
But
But it's
I
mostly,
can't help the poor if I'm one of them. So then it gets to that point of who
but
is
my,
Tyler
and that,
Perry able to open up these studios if he doesn't blow up like that?
but then, okay, again, going back to that argument that if it's for us, right? If you are looking out for us, you had to pave the way. You wore the dress. You acted crazy. You made the films. You
You
built
saying
the
the man wearing the
compound.
dress is acting crazy?
No, that's
Groovy.
not what I said. I said you wore the dress. You acted crazy. Those are two different things. Um, I hate when you do that because then you fucked up my train of thought. You didn't, to a certain extent, you didn't reach back and say, I'm gonna employ these black writers. I have 17 different shows. That's what I'm gonna do. You got certain people acting your stuff. That's all fine and dandy. But I'm gonna have to call it for what it is. When you're taking all of the big money for yourself. When I look at Tyler Perry's credits, it says Tyler Perry's the actor, Tyler Perry is the writer, Tyler Perry's the producer, Tyler Perry's the director, Tyler Perry is the this. Sir,
Sound like Drake featuring Drake.
it's like move out of the way now. Pave the way. Like pave. You said it's for us. You did the whole BET speech. You said you was creating the table, and then you took all the chairs away from the table, and you the only one sitting at it.
Whoever said anybody was obligated to be a bridge builder?
No, I'm not saying that they are obligated. What I'm saying is, don't say it's for us and it's for yourself. It is for your own improvement and it's for your own
It is
gains.
for us.
That
It's
is
black
fine,
entertainment.
and it's not. No, it's not black entertainment. It's foolishness. And we have to stop saying that it's black entertainment. Like black, not, I'm speaking more in terms of like Tyler Perry stuff. I will say black as fuck. Um, I think that it is built for the white audience. And I think that is built for the white audience because one is not tailored to the black experience that we can really relate to. Two, they have a bunch of lessons in there, for people to learn, but it's not necessarily for black people to learn. Like it's for people who aren't black. That's how I feel personally. So I don't think that it's shit. I just don't think it's necessarily for black people. I don't necessarily think Blackish is really for black people, to
That's an
be
interesting
completely
point.
honest.
So then, are these shows, this content? What is a black artist supposed to make? Are they supposed to make stuff for us to be entertained, or are they supposed to create educational content to help the movement?
That's a different conversation for a different time, I
Because
think,
I could
friend.
argue then that these people aren't doing anything wrong. They're probably more on the I'm trying to do something socially just. I'm trying to educate
Sure,
through humor.
sure, sure. Also, like I said, then don't go through interviews, right? Don't go to your interviews and saying I'm making this for black people because you're not. You might be furthering the black like agenda, I guess you could say, in your own way, to get people to learn and open up and take an insight into what it is for his specific life as a black man because he's not really speaking for like black like I guess you could say the traditional black family, whatever the fuck that's supposed to be. That's not what that is. He is trying to educate the best way he can. Sure, fine. Also, why didn't you employ black like writers then? Let's do it. We can say it's both. We can say that you're trying to do something and we can hold you accountable for not doing something else. I think we could do both.
I just want to finish off by saying that I remember once upon a time. You know me, I always remember everything. I don't forget shit.
I know that you're petty.
Petty, good memory, synonymous.
Okay.
But that's a quote. But I remember once upon a time I got into an argument with people and I said, I'm sick and tired of seeing the wealthy, light skinned black people like representing the black experience and things like that. And they said, no, you need to make room for them too. That's not fair. There's not one
And we
blackness in
do.
it. Yeah, and I said there's not one. It's like, oh, there's not a monolith on the black experience and how black content is supposed to be put
That's
out
true.
there and experienced and yada yada yada. And I said, no, you're not getting what I'm saying. I'm getting X'd out. The lower class, middle class, the average person, the brown skinned kid, the dark skinned kid, the one from the hood, the one like, you know what I mean? Like I get X'd out and I'm tired of being X'd out. So it's just everybody that's switching their story now and they got a problem with black as fuck and these shows and shit like that. I'll be posting my Cash App and my Venmo in the caption. I also take payment and just you was right. That actually means more to me than money. So feel free to go into the comment section, and I'll be right here waiting.
I hear you, Big Daddy. I hear you.
Because it's I always say that it just takes a year, 2 or 3, and then you already realize, oh shit, Mike was saying something. Mike was
Mm-hmm.
saying something, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I don't know shit. I don't know shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like Dame Dash.
Okay, y'all, and that's our episode for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Would you like to lead us out, Michael?
You're not gonna silence me, Nia. I got something to say to you, motherfuckers. All right. Either way, fuck y'all. But if you made it to this point, one of two things happened. 3 now, you just I don't know. You really ain't got shit to do. but,
I
uh,
mean, I mean,
but one, you listen to the whole thing and we're thankful for you tuning in. Or two, you're not really listening. This is just background noise for you. If it's the first, please remember to like, subscribe, and share our content with at least one person you know this week who needs a glass of wine, conversation. They're watching that whack ass show, Black and Fake. You know what I mean? They're watching a Tyler Perry movie, whatever the case may be. Also, check us out on Instagram at the Wine Night Pod. If it's the second, well, thanks for the stream. Peace and love, y'all.
bye.